Good morning, it's Kylie from Hello Crafter, and I am back for day 2 of my 12 days of Craftmas. I've been practicing saying that. I've got a couple of cute cards to show you using the Yuletide Village stamp set, which I've just realised I don't actually have out, but I'll get that in a second. Thanks so much for watching yesterday and all your lovely comments. All your comments are going to go into a pot for a prize at the end of the week. But I've also got another little kind of competition going starting today. So yesterday I put my little Christmas tree up. There it is up there. I forgot to switch the lights off, and so they're faded a little bit. So I'll put some new lights on for tomorrow. And I'm adding to the Christmas decorations one every day, a new one every day, and you have to spot it. So you have to spot the difference. So it might involve looking back on the previous day video to see what the difference is. It's not the lights, because they're always up in my craft room, but apart from that, what other new Christmas decoration can you spot? So the point is that you comment, and then you might win a prize. If more than one person comments, then I'll do a draw for it, but you will get today's or the day's craft projects sent to you. So right, I'll get started then, and I'll explain what we're doing today. So let's just point you down, and then let's get this full size. Oh, this was yesterday's projects, just as a reminder. So if you haven't watched yesterday's video, then you can go back and watch me create these two. We're on day 2, and I have a new ordering special. So anyone who places an order of £40 or more today is going to get a free gift. Today's free gift is the linen thread. Now everybody needs this in their stash, so even if you've got a little bit, you could always use more. It's something I use a lot of in my crafting, and it's actually one of those products like glue and envelopes and white card. I get a little bit panicky when I'm running out, so I like to have a supply of it in my house at all times. So that will be your free gift. Now if you don't order today, but you order later in the week, but you want linen thread, then you can choose. I'll let you choose whatever free gift you want of the ones that I'm sharing with you. So it's no problem. If you don't like that particular day's free gift, you can go back and select something that I've shown in previous days. So yeah, that's fine. Right, so on with today's cards. And we need some cardstock first of all. Well, actually, let me go get the stamp set first, because we're definitely going to need that if I can find it. There we go. Yuletide Village. Got Yuletide Village. I'll just share the other things that we're using today, just so that if you are going to be crafting along, we're using Snowy Wonder dies. So the Snowy Wonder dies you can get them in a bundle with the Snowy Wonder stamp set, which is this one, but it has the most incredible snow globe shaped dies. So there's that shaped snow globe and that shaped snow globe, and the base that fits on both. So you can use the stamps and the dies that come in that bundle, or you can use anything to go in your snow globe. So this is what we're doing. So I'll get those two out ready, and then I'm also using this Snowflake Sky embossing folder. I've used this absolutely loads this season. It's a firm favourite, so that's highly recommended. And these are the bits and pieces that we're using. So I'm using early espresso ink. You can use any dark colour, water-based, and then I'm using the Stampin' blends to colour, There's my linen thread, and just to embellish, I've got some of these loose snowflakes that are really cute. So let's get my ink out first of all. No, cut my cardstock first of all, because I've not done any cutting. We need 2 card bases from Crumb Cake, so I'm going to take a full sheet of A4, score it in half lengthways at 10.5, and then flip it over and cut widthways in half at 14.25. That's creating my 2 card bases. And then I also need another layer of Crumb Cake, 14.3 by 10. And then I also need 2 pieces of white at that same measurement, 14.3 by 10. So the first thing I'm going to do actually, before I do my stamping, is I'm going to cut myself a snow globe shaped window out of one of those sheets. So let's grab my okay, you don't have to watch me do that. I'm just going to do it over on my other desk. There we go. So I've cut that out, so I need both. And then I'll also cut this piece. So the Country Woods papers, you definitely need a pack of this. I think I might be on my 4th pack now. I've used loads of it. Country Woods, that's an unopened pack because I've just replaced my dregs of what I've got left of the other one. I'll show you some of the open bits that I've got left over. So there's all different styles and colours of wood grains in here. I just love it, and it's really good for masculine cards as well. Yeah, very, very usable papers. There's like darker colours. Oh, you can stamp on it as well. So I'm using a little bit of that, and I'm just going to cut myself 2 pieces of the base for the snow globe. So that's those done. That's back. And then finally I'm going to emboss. So I'm going to emboss this piece and this piece with the snowflake sky. So I'll just do that quickly. That's the first one. And then I never know which way round to do it. I don't suppose it really matters, but let's get your opinion. Should it be like this with the sort of more dense snow at the top coming down, or that way with the little, so it's more dense to more sparse? So I never know which way round to do it. I think I prefer actually the more dense at the top, so it's kind of like it's sort of falling downwards. But anyway, I don't think it really matters. Okay, so I think we're ready to do some stamping. So we've got that bit for there, and that will go on there. This bit for there, and that will go on there. So we're actually taking one piece and creating 2 cards with it, which is always fun. So we'll do some stamping. Got my early espresso ink, and I'm going to take this double house first. And I'm going to create a little scene. I quite like the little trees as well, so I'll put a couple of trees on as well. And then for this one, I need to just lay that over temporarily. I should be able to fit my church in without moving it, perhaps. Can I? So I don't want to stamp onto it. Oh, it's a little bit lopsided, but I think I can get away with it. Yeah, it'll be fine. And now we can use the blends to colour these in. So I've got crumb cake, soft sea foam, pool party, and petal pink blends. So we'll just get a little bit of colour on the houses. And the good thing about these colours, because they're quite pastel and pale, you can really get away with not being too neat, which is perfect for me, who likes to rush. So I've not even kind of got all of the bits there. Let's get a little bit of shading. So that's the petal pink, this is the sea foam. So I'll just give you a little handy hint with these blends if you've got some of these. I tend to use mostly the felt tip end, the smaller end. So that's clearly marked with the thin line. There's a thick line and a thin line, and the thin line is the felt tip end, which is perfect for smaller areas and detail and for blending. The brush tip is a much fatter end. It's really good for laying down larger areas of colour, but it's not good for blending, I don't think, because when you're trying to blend 2 colours together, you want a firmer nib. This is too soft really for blending. So if you try to blend with the brush tip, this is what happens. I've got an example here. I don't know if you can see that very well, but you can see my end's pretty mashed up and it goes a bit dry. So this has been used a bit too firmly. And I find it quite a lot because I use my blends in my classes. So I have lots of people using my blends. Sometimes they may forget what I've taught them about how to use them and go a little bit too firm. I don't mind. This is all part of running classes. People, have to learn techniques, and it's not always obvious what you have to do with them. But I always try and just give like a little. See, that one is starting to go as well, but I've got some new ones of these. So I do end up replacing the ones that I use in my classes quite a lot. I was thinking of actually having a set for myself and having a separate classes, but I don't need to do that really, because most of the time it's absolutely fine, and I'll just replace when I need to replace. But I just thought I'd share that, because if you have bought blends for yourself and you're not quite sure how best to prolong their life, that's my tip. What else do I need to colour in on here? So really this is just about adding a little bit of colour, and like I say, I've chosen pastel colours deliberately so that they're quite soft looking. I find when I'm colouring, I don't know if you find the same, that you kind of, it can zone out a little bit, which is really great, apart from when you're trying to demonstrate and then you realise you've been silent for 5 minutes. Don't know if you've ever found that. I like to add a little bit of the light Pool Party. Perfect example here, because this one's really dried now and mashed up. Have I got a replacement for that? Right, need to add that to my list. Because it's really light, and if you just add it here and there to the tops of the snowdrifts, just adds a little bit of depth, and it's sort of the perfect colour. I'm going to just chop this down, because it doesn't normally bother me when things are wonky, but I feel like it might, so I'm just going to take a seeder off these. So that'll go behind. So just taking, you don't need to do that if you've stamped it straight. Right. The other thing I want to do, and this is a really good technique for, I want to add some colour to the sky, because I think it's still quite white on white. So I've kept these from last time I used them. What I did was I stamped on post-it notes and then cut them out, just cut around the edge of the stamp line. So now I have masks, and the sticky bit of the post-it note is just on the top there, so it should just hold down in place. And then the same here, the sticky is at the top, like so. And now if I take my blending brush, and I think I'm going to go for Balmy Blue ink. I'm just going to carefully add just a little soft sponging of colour. Nothing too dark. When I peel these away now, you can see the difference. Just adds a little bit of background. Hello Julia, I've just spotted your comment. Okay, I'll catch you later. So I can put these back in my stamp set now. Ready for next time. Right, now to assemble. So let's do this one first. So I've got my crumb cake card base, my embossed panel, which I'll glue down. Oops. Snow globe, which I'm going to attach with dimensionals, using up all my edge bits. And then one of my wooden bases, also dimensionals. And my linen thread bow. Someone asked me how I tied the linen thread bows. No, I did some little silver ribbon bows, and someone asked me how I tied them. Now I'm going to show you how I do it. It might not be the best way for you, but this is how I do it. So I'm holding a little tail. I've not cut anything off the reel because I don't need to cut a length yet. I make a loop over my finger, but then I hold the loop between my thumb and forefinger, and I take the thread around my thumb to the back and pinch the loop at the back. So I've got my first loop there and my second loop there, and now I need to make a third loop and push it through. Now I've got to swap hands, I've got to swap fingers. So these two fingers grab that loop, and then these two fingers grab the end there. Actually, these two fingers grab the end, and then these two fingers grab that loop, that end, and these two fingers grab this loop, and I pull everything together. So see, everything is held in my fingers. So it pulls out really big like this, but this first end isn't too big, so I've not wasted much. Now hold the knot and shorten this loop. Hold the knot with the other finger and shorten this loop. And adjust until it's the size you want. So I'll do that again because normally I can get this end really small when I'm doing this. So can you see? It's small now. So when I adjust my bow, it is the perfect size. So I'll do it one more time because I need two. So make a loop and pinch it between your finger and your thumb. Wrap that around to the back and hold it between your finger and thumb. Make another loop and push it push it through the first loop. Swap fingers, so now you're holding this loop with that finger, holding that loop with that finger and thumb, and then you're holding the tails with your other fingers and pulling everything at the same time, and then adjusting. Anyway, that's how I do mine, because I've had a lot of practice, because I've tied a lot of bows. So I don't know. the more you do something, the easier it gets. That's all I can say. I know some people absolutely hate time bows, and that's fine. You can't be good at everything. It's absolutely fine. If you're not good at time bows, it's no big deal. But my ladies at my classes like me to do it, which is fine because I like doing it. This one is going to be, where's the window for that? There it is. So because I've just messed around chopping things up, I'm just gonna arrange where that's got to go. Yeah, I've not made that very easy for myself, have I? So let's just, as long as it's straight and it's not poking out. Okay, now we're going to attach that with dimensionals. So put one on each corner, one there. Let's do one there, one there. Let's do a couple more for good measure. Okay, just lay that over the top. I'm going to glue this on. Just hold it down because it's being glued onto an embossed piece, so not as much to grab onto. Okay, that's those. And finally, some tiny little snowflakes. Right, I'm going to open those up so they're flat. And I've just found my original cup of tea. I made myself one just before I came on because I thought I'd made myself a cup of tea already and I couldn't find it anywhere. Anyway, I've just found it at the other end of my desk. So now I've got two, one cold and one lukewarm cups of tea. On we go. It's not unusual for me to microwave my tea at least 2 or 3 times. Okay, this is where your take your pick tool comes in very handy. If you're really good with your glue, what you can do is put the tiniest dot of glue teeny tiny, and then ideally you would leave that for a couple of minutes to go a bit tacky, which will make this step much easier. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to pick up the snowflake with the tacky end of my take your pick tool and just drop it on. So because the glue is wet and not tacky, this tacky is stickier to the snowflake than the glue. So it does mean you have to use your other finger just to hold it down to lift you take your pick tool away. But if that glue dot was tackier, you should be able to just drop it on. It will stick to the glue dot and you can pull your take your pick away, if that makes sense. But because the glue's wet, it won't cling just yet. So you will need to give these a few minutes to dry so they don't fall off. But once they're set, they won't come off. Just need one more. Last finishing touch. Always need a bit of Wink of Stella. This is another must-have, by the way. I've said this many times. Everybody needs a Wink of Stella. So I'm just going to make sure I've got some squeezed in. And then I'm just going to add the tiniest bit to the snow. And you think there's hardly anything there coming out. But it's just enough, I promise. I'm going to try and show you that sparkle. It's not coming out very well, but there. Can you just about see on the roofs? A bit of sparkle. Perfect. And I'm not putting sentiments on here. I just thought they don't need it, but you could add some to the base or underneath or up there. I did have a little small Merry Christmas stamp, but I've lost it, which is very, very irritating. If you've ever lost a stamp out of a set, you will know how frustrating that is. And I'm hoping, still hoping, that it's going to turn up. I'll show you. Oh no, it's not from this set, obviously, because there's no sentiments in this one. It's from a different set. But anyway, that's enough of my problems. So I'm very, very excited to be back tomorrow at 10 AM. Let's get me back. And I do have the project that I was going to share today is going to be tomorrow. The reason why I couldn't share it today and I had to do a last minute switch was I had a bit of a technical problem with my project, which I'm hoping to fix today so that it's ready to share tomorrow. We'll see how it goes, but you will see why when I share this project, hopefully tomorrow. But no, I wanted to get it right before today. So good morning, Jane. Yeah, I'm just about to finish up, but you can watch it later. Don't forget to comment. So if you're watching this later, just let me know that you're watching on replay. And if you've got any questions about the card, about the products that I've used, just ask. Everyone who comments is going to go into a draw for a prize at the end of the week from all my videos this week. And also feel free to suggest a craft, because I've got a very vague outline of what I'm going to be doing for the 12 days, but I'm happy to change it up and go off piste if you've got a good idea for something that I can share. It's something that you want to see me create, or a Stampin' Up product you'd like to see me demonstrate, then I'd love to have your suggestions. That would be amazing. And if you're watching on replay again, I'm doing my competition where you can spot the difference. So I'm adding a Christmas decoration to my craft room every day, a different one. So you have to go and watch yesterday's, see what decorations I've got, and then if you can spot the new one that I've added today, then comment on the video. So the first person to comment will get a prize, or if a few people comment, you'll go into a draw. Right, that's my fun for today. Oh, do you like my Christmas jumper, by the way? This is I seem to have a few Christmas jumpers with trees on. I don't know, seems to be a bit of a theme. I didn't realise this is another old one. This is probably at least 4 or 5 years old, this one. I just keep them in a bag in the loft. I should get rid of them, really. Yeah, tune in tomorrow for Christmas jumper number 3. Right, I'll see you tomorrow. I'm blabbing now, but I'll let you get on with your day and have a good one, and see you tomorrow. Bye for now. Thank you for watching.